Alright, boys, now we're getting serious. We're talking about the Room Sweeper, which was highly regarded to be one of the highest DPS shotguns in the game until it got outclassed by most other shotguns. However, it does still have a place in the meta. This is one of the earliest, best shotguns in the game. This thing basically fires like a Tommy gun, minus the range and minus the overall damage. Wait, what is this good for again? This thing is insane for, well, as you can imagine, sweeping rooms. So I have mine all blue. I can't currently afford to make it gold like I did the ground pounder. That was a one-time thing. I'm sorry. I am saving that for another project going on, which I might be uploading before this video. So if that video is out by now, I will link it in the description below. However, I am scheduling this to be on vacation, so I might not actually be able to do that. However, you should check it out anyway, because Project Spectre is going to be a spectacle to look at. So the Room Sweeper perks are pretty easy. They're pretty standard. Crit rating, crit damage, damage is slowed and snared. You want this to match your 6th perk. So if you have Affliction, do Affliction up here. And if you don't have one of those two, find a new schematic. I'm sorry, but I'm not kidding. You get about a 45% damage buff from this 5th perk. So if it doesn't match your 6th perk, it's gonna be limping along. And then of course this is just like my AR videos all over again. The preference between mag size and reload is completely up to you. Stability is an interesting conversation if you're on controller, because this thing kicks like a mule, so you might want to have a little help pulling down, but I'd highly recommend doing at least mag size or reload, because you're gonna want to have minimal downtime while reloading, but 3 seconds isn't too bad. And then of course, if you're using the recommended perks on the hero loadout that I'll have linked below, I would recommend mag size, because the reload's not too bad, but you want to have as many shots to get off as possible, because this thing is just really, really great for clearing large hordes. In fact, I actually carry the Room Sweeper alongside other shotguns because it's so good at, cleaning up all the smaller zombies. And then I use the higher powered shotguns for more specific, fatties and mist monsters. And that's probably the coolest thing about the Room Sweeper, is it feels like an AA-12. If you guys ever played Call of Duty back in the day and you know exactly what an AA-12 is good for, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Of course, it's not exactly an AA-12, because that is a little bit more similar to the Tiger Jaw, which is modeled literally exactly after an AA-12, and you better believe I'm going to make a joke about it in that video, coming out tomorrow. However, today we're still talking about the Room Sweeper. Also, thanks to Raze for giving me that Tiger Jaw, because I don't have a schematic worth leveling up. Remember what I said about the Room Sweeper? I've got a Tiger Jaw sitting in here somewhere, but it's got the 6th perk that buffs your headshot, which is super uninteresting to me, and I can't see it in here. One of you definitely saw it and are yelling at me for being blind, but I don't care. We're talking about the Room Sweeper, which is pretty much it. As always with elements, use energy if you're going to be using this on everything. If you want this to be a specific element, go for it. Just know the checks and balances of the different elements. If you guys don't know, I have a video on it. I'll link below. Physical is something I would never recommend for a Room Sweeper, because physical I would only ever recommend if you're using it against mist monsters, very, very low level missions, or specific high level enemies. And physical just drops off so heavily against all elements that energy just kind of works out to be the best for this. Again, if you have a specific loadout that you're working with and you want like a shotgun for every element, you go right for it. But I'm going to recommend energy for this one, and that's pretty much it. If you guys have any varying opinions, then go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Something we talked about on stream was fire rate and damage on this thing, because the Room Sweeper shoots so fast. If you pop a war cry, have fire rate and damage on this thing, it's kind of like a minigun, and I really, really, really want to try it out. I'm keeping it crit rating, crit damage for now, but that might change in the future. So if you guys watch my streams, you might want to stay tuned for that. Although, as you're watching this, I might have already tried it on stream, because I'm talking to you like 2 weeks in advance. Alright, so I'm recording this like a little while after I made that video. Made the video on the Room Sweeper, and I'm putting this in here just to say that I was right in saying that I'd end up doing this on stream. Raze in my party just handed me a fire rate damage Room Sweeper. It is a 130 versus 94s, which is a fair note. However, I don't have my shotgun loaded on me. So you can just see... Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's so good. This thing is owning. Let me just... Okay, these... It's just playing Ring Around the Rosie with me. Regardless, this is... Fire rate and damage is definitely a good way to go on a Room Sweeper. So thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day. Oh, how about that Room Sweeper, boys? Yeah. Ooh, this is the VIP section with all the patrons. Check them out. Look at these guys supporting the channel every month. I really appreciate that, you guys. Thank you. If you want to support my channel, my Patreon is linked below, and it's on the screen. You should click it, click it, click it, click it. See you guys.